Obviously, this time of year is just perfect for sitting down and really reflecting on what has worked, what hasn't worked, what you're enjoying about your life, what you're not enjoying about your life, and really thinking about what you want the new year to bring. So, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how I reflect on the previous year and how I turn my New Year's resolutions or goals, how I actually put those into action. So, if you've been here a while, you will know that I am all about action. I'm all about systems and things like that. So, obviously, I'm going to create a system for how I'm going to prepare for the new year. And I want to talk you through how I do that. And hopefully, that will help you make plans for the new year that you can stick to. So, the first thing I like to do is reflect back. Because if you don't know where you are, you don't know where you want to get to. You have to know where you're starting from so that when you have that end goal in mind, you can think about the steps you need to take you from A to B. So the first thing I like to do is just journal and do a brain dump of the year. So anything that comes to mind, and I won't look at my phone to start with. I'm just going to have what's in my mind, how I'm feeling about the year. So what am I happy about? What do I feel could have gone better? What do I want to work on? Things like that. So I will do that just for memory first of all, but I do have a really bad memory. So after I've kind of brain dumped everything that's already in my head, I'll actually go through my camera roll and go through analytics and things like that as well for my business and have a look at where I started and where I ended up and what's on my camera roll to kind of jog my memory about things that I did that year, because obviously everything in your phone is going to be good. You're only going to take pictures of good things that are happening. And I think it's really easy to forget some of those little memories. So I might have pictures on my phone of me just like taking the kids to the park and them feeding the ducks or something. And I'm not going to really remember that. It's not going to be a memory that sticks out. Maybe I take them to the park all the time. But as I'm going through my camera roll, seeing their happy face or just knowing that they're really enjoying spending time with me will jog my memory that I've been really intentional this year with spending one-on-one time with my kids or just spending quality time with my kids. I'm not the best at being in the house with my kids and doing fun things, even though I buy board games. Actually, board games I can do because that's structured fun. I can do structured fun. But I'm not very good at just being spontaneous, or if my daughter wants to play Barbies with me and making up some game, like I feel like it needs to have a storyline and I kind of ruin the fun. But outside of the house, I'm a really good, fun mum. I'm like on the swings with them. I'm climbing on the climbing frame. I'm, in the pool swimming with them. Whatever we're doing, like I'm really in it with them. So I know getting out the house is really important for me to do with the kids so that they know that I'm a fun mum and also that I am spending quality time with them. Because if we're in the house, I'll just find other things to do, or I'm just not great at, being that fun mum unless there's some structure to it. So once you've journaled on the previous year, you'll get some kind of understanding of where you're at. And what I would do as well is I actually look at 7 areas of my life. And what I'll do is journal on each of those areas individually. So once I've done my big brain dump, looked through my camera roll, what I'm going to then do is have a look and think about specifically where I'm at in these 7 areas. So the 7 areas are business, so work and business, family, my relationship, so that one would be with my husband, friends, my home life, health and fitness, and spirituality. So these are the 7 areas I concentrate on when I'm looking at my year. And I'll just do a couple of minutes writing out about each of these individual areas and how I feel about them at this time. So the next thing I'll do is I'll put on some kind of ideal life meditation. So my client actually has an ideal life meditation, and if I can get a link to it, I will put it in the description below. But basically just spending a few minutes doing some kind of visualization. There'll be other ones on YouTube as well. You can just search in like ideal life meditation or visualization, something like that. I'm not very good at doing that myself, so I need some kind of guided tour for that. So I'll put something like that on just so that I can get myself into a state of being able to then plan for the future. So once I've done the meditation, I'm then going to do my vision board. So I'll put on the screen a copy of me building my vision board. I love to do it on Canva, and I love a mix of actual photos of me doing the things. So you'll see on there, there's things of my family, where we went on holiday, us on an aeroplane, because I just love going on aeroplanes. It just means we're going somewhere hot 99% of the time. And I love the sun and the beach. So I'll put things like that. But then I'll also use stock photos of things that I haven't done yet. So, or I haven't taken pictures of. So on the vision board this year, there's things about spending time as a family, where we have family dinners, and we currently do that 2 days a week, but I want to make them non-negotiable. So I want to make sure that on Wednesdays and Sundays, they are the days where we all sit down as a family and we make a real effort to, obviously we don't have our phones, and we just sit and talk and we spend that time together. And I don't have photos of that. We do that, and we've been really good at doing definitely Sundays every single week, and Wednesdays have been an add-on in the past, I'd say like last quarter, but I want to do more of them, but we don't take pictures of that. So I'm going to just have something to represent that. So we always have chicken. My child is neurodivergent, and so he likes things the same. So we always have chicken. I did try using different meats and he did not like it. So the chicken represents the Sunday dinner. And then there's other things there as well that I don't take pictures of, but I want to represent what we're doing. So I don't think I've done all 7 areas on my vision board. I've kind of grouped some together. So like home and family, there's a bit like that's kind of mixed in together. Health, fitness and spirituality, I've also mixed together there. So I don't know where we are on the vision board at this second, but there'll be things like reading books and journaling, because I want to make sure I read a book and journal every day. And also there's things that I want to do with my health and fitness. So health and fitness is not a massive priority of mine for 2024. But I do want to make sure that I'm moving my body every day. So that's generally going to be a walk. And also I used to love dancing. Dancing, I just did all the time for fun. We used to live in a pub. My parents ran a pub, and we used to have a stage and a dance floor, and we used to put on shows for the patrons. You know, we used to raise money for charity. And so I'd always be dancing, choreographing dances, and I've definitely lost that. I do still dance more than anything else, but my daughter also loves to dance. I just want to, you know, have random dance parties at home and things like that. I'm not really one for structured fitness. I've tried different things like bounce and yoga, and my husband is like, you know, the biggest gym person ever. He goes twice a day, and I've gone with him sometimes and done some strength training, and just nothing has piqued my interest yet. So it's not a massive focus for me this year, but I would like to just move my body more. And for now, that's just going to be walking, and it's also going to be dancing. I love going for walks in the woods alone and also with my family. So I have pictures of that too. With my friends, I really want to spend more time with them. I feel like last year I didn't spend much time with my friends. I was so focused on work, and then the little time I had left over, I wanted to spend with my family. And I feel like I've really had some disconnect with some of my best friends. I also usually go away, and we didn't have the money to do that last year. So I just want spending time with the people I love to be a massive priority. And although I don't want to, you know, take my foot off the gas with my business, I do need to get my priorities straight. And for me, that is spending more time with my friends. And that doesn't have to mean spending money, although I have put things on there like afternoon teas and spas, and there's me and my friend in a desert. So I do love trips, and I think having that one-on-one time with people away from their normal life is really helpful. So whatever I can do to make that happen, I will be focusing on this year. When it comes to my business, I am launching a new membership at the end of this month, and I'm really excited about that. So I'm really hoping, my goal is 100 members, which is really ambitious, but that's my goal. So I'm going to try my hardest to achieve that. And I really think that that's a good number to start with, where I can really focus on all those people and give them my attention. And that's going to be a massive thing for me this year. I also want to really just focus on YouTube. I love doing YouTube. And sometimes the other social media can be a bit of a distraction. And also because it's my PA who does most of my social media, I feel really disconnected from it. So I think maybe just focusing on one long form content, which is YouTube, and one non-long form content, which I think will be LinkedIn for therapists, because I think that's where my audience is, as opposed to Instagram, which I enjoy but don't get much traction from. And I think rather than being distracted in all loads of different areas, I really want to try and focus on where I need to be. The other thing with regards to work is, you'll see on there's no like Zoom meetings and screens and things like that. I really want to get out in the real world. I want to network. I want to go to events. I did 2 events this year, which were really, really fun. Like, they were so fun to go out and talk to real human beings and be with my clients and spend time with them outside of work. That was really fun. And I want to do more of that. And I also want to do more collaboration with people. So going on other people's podcasts, having people come to my YouTube channel, things like that. So that's really important to me. And then finally, with my kind of relationship with my husband, I just want to spend more time with him. I feel like last year we actually spent a lot of time together. It was our 10-year wedding anniversary. So we did a big trip to London, which was really fun. And he planned the whole thing, which I think is why I loved it so much, because I didn't have to do any of the planning. He took care of everything, where we ate, just everything, where we stayed, everything. And I'm such a planner, and I really love somebody taking charge of the planning outside of my business, and I guess just in my relationship, really. If I think about it, I love the planning side when it comes to my friends and when it comes to obviously planning with the kids. But with my relationship, I actually like my husband to take the reins and book things and organize things. I just like having the freedom to just turn up. That's actually really fun. And I've also put a map on there as well, because my husband loves going to places and trying, their local food establishments, so non-chains, and he really enjoys that, and I enjoy doing that with him, even though I'm not a massive foodie myself. But we always work in things that he likes and things that I like, and it just seems to work. So it'd be nice to go to different places around the country with him and try new places. Okay, so that was my vision board. So you see kind of how I pull that together. And like I said, I love using Canva, but you can use, magazines, you can do crafting and using glue and sticking things down, whatever suits you best. But I do find it really beneficial to put the different areas and then build the pictures around those areas. So that can make things a bit easier for you when you're doing your vision board. And finally, I choose a word for the year. So my word last year was focus, because I really didn't know where things were going last year. And I did really need some focus. I needed some time to think about what I was going to do with my business, mainly because I obviously choose these words around my business, and then I make them fit for my personal life as well. So my word of the year this year is action. It's so much more about the doing this year. I want to do more. I want to take action on the things that I focused on last year. So the things that I made decisions about last year, it's time to take action, which is why I was telling you about the membership, and also just launching the things that I already have. I didn't really focus on that last year. I really didn't focus on kind of earning money at all last year, which I needed to do because I needed to focus, and now I need to take action. So again, what I do is I sit down and I write the word in the middle of the page. And so this year I've written, how can I take action in 2024? And then I do those 7 areas that I told you about previously, which I'll put on the screen again. And I'll write down what I can actually do to take action on those areas in 2024. So I'll write 3 or 4 things that I can do for my word of the year. So obviously my word is action. So it's what can I do to take action in my relationship? What can I do to take action in my business? What can I do to take action in my friendships? So what I'll do is I'll put a screenshot of what I came up with on the screen as well, so that you can see what I did. So they are the things that I do, and I really do sit down and spend time. I've done that this morning. So not just for this video, it is something that I do every year. So just to recap what they are, I first of all do a brain dump of where I'm at. So how I think the last year has gone. I'll then actually look through my camera roll and any analytics I have for my business to get a clearer picture of some actual data of where things are and currently stand for me this year. The next thing I'll do is do some kind of visualization or ideal life meditation so that I can get myself into a state to really think about the future. And then I'll do my vision board. And finally, I will choose a word for the year and then write down how I can actually do that word in each of the 7 areas that I talked about. When you create an emotional link between what it is you want and your goals, you're much more likely to succeed in those goals or New Year's resolutions, whatever it is. When you've actually taken the time to think about all of these areas in your life and how they will be improved once you actually take action on the goal or whatever it is that you want to do. So I have found this really helpful, and also just putting things on paper, putting things out to the universe in any way. I also think even subconsciously you start working towards that. I had a look at the things that I wrote down last year. So what do I want to focus on in 2023? And honestly, I probably only looked at that piece of paper maybe 4 times. So maybe once a quarter, I revisited it. And it's amazing to see how much of the things that I wrote down, how I can focus on things in 2023, how much I actually did those things I wrote down, even subconsciously, not really thinking about them. So each quarter I would, plan goals around them. But even the ones that I didn't plan goals around, I just did. I've noticed that some of the things I wrote down last year, I didn't ever plan anything for. I just wrote them down. But actually, I did those things somehow. So I just think writing things down, putting things out can be really useful, even if you don't focus on them, all the time. If you would like some help and some space this month to help you decide what it is that you want to focus on this year in your private practice, Tamara Howell and I are hosting a free 90-minute workshop called Craft Your 2024 Success. And we are going to help you do just that. This is an experiential workshop, and it's designed to equip you with the tools and strategies needed to make 2024 your most successful and fulfilling year yet. We are going to be unlocking the Goal Getters method, which is going to mix visualization and strategic planning to help you achieve your goals. We're going to help you craft your ideal schedule so that you can actually have time to take action on your goals. And we're actually going to be doing some goal setting so you walk away from the workshop with your action plan for the next few weeks. You have 2 dates to choose from, and we'd love to see you there. I'm going to leave a link in the description for all the details about the workshop. It's totally free, and we'd love to see you there. Until next time, thanks so much for watching.